Hey there. So, yesterday I did a live webinar where I talked about the different phases of your launch, what to say, what types of messages to send during each and every launch. When I say send, I mean send, post, create, etc. So, I wanted to, and I said I would show this video, which is kind of inside, oops, can't see with those. Inside a program called Notion, which is, I use this for a lot of planning and brainstorming and mapping out things, and I really love it. So, but we're working on a few other systems that might take this over, but I don't know. There's just something about working in Notion that I love. Regardless, so like I mentioned in a post on Instagram this week, this is something that I love to do instead of planning out like open cart date, this date. Sure, I have those dates in my mind, but what I really look at is what is the communication I'm going to send? What are other people going to experience in the launch? And that helps me actually sometimes figure out what I want to do for the launch. But if I know that I'm going to say open and I know what the offer is and what those details are, then I can think to myself, well, what do people need to hear leading up to the launch? What do they need to see? What do they need to read? What do they need to attend, for instance? So I did decide to do a webinar, which is what I did yesterday. If you want to get the link, or you just go to the link in my Instagram profile, or DM me wherever you're watching this and ask me for the link to sign up for that limited time replay, because long story short, Zoom kind of did not do me a solid yesterday. And actually, I didn't even really think about it. I thought, oh yeah, Zoom's going to send out all my notifications. But really, when you're going to someone's webinar and you're like, oh, well, when is Anne's webinar happening? You're looking in your inbox for an email from Anne, not from Zoom. So we had a lot of people who did not make it to the actual live webinar. So I was like, I'm going to make sure that they get their replay ASAP, which they did last night, but it is also available to sign up for right now. So just go to the Instagram profile or DM me and I'll send you that link. So here is what I was talking about. I literally just list out all of the communication, different things that are going to be happening that other people are going to experience. Like other people are going to see the email and see the PS and perhaps watch the video. Other people are going to see the social poll that I put up on Instagram. Other people, like the members, the past members are going to get their invite. Actually, I have to add in another invite. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it right now. I have to add in another invite for that to them, because some people emailed me after they saw the webinar and they want to change their emails and all this stuff. So we're gonna get them all situated. And so everything in here is something that another person is going to experience. And if we start looking at our launches like this, I believe that we get out of our own heads, like, how am I going to do this webinar? We shift from what are we going to do to what are they going to experience? What are you going to see? And I think that when we do that, we shift the way we communicate. There's no way you can be selfishly communicating if you are taking the other person into consideration first. So this is just kind of what I've done. You can see here, there's a few delivery related things that I put in here, like get the TML member emails done. And for the most part, I've checked most of the ones off that I've done, but I think it's just because there's like one email that I haven't written that needs to be written. So I don't want to completely check it off until it's checked off. And some of these are until it's actually published, live, happening. Like I want to make sure that I put them, I check things off when they're done. So I do this in here. And then in addition to this, like honestly, I could do everything in here and I'll show you why in a second, but I still use Asana. We're working on a whole ClickUp setup to see if that's going to work for us or not. But in Notion, you get to, by the way, these first thing to first, when you can create all these different views inside of Notion, which I just love. You can have this list kind of view, you can have a table view, you can have a board view, kind of like a Trello thing. Now this, obviously you have to set it up. So you don't have to have work, home, whatever. You could have to do, in progress, done. You know what I mean? It could be anything you want it to be. You could also use it in like kind of a gallery form if you like something a little bit more visual, which I kind of love this too, because then you can kind of see at a glance what's inside these cards. Best yet, though, you can set due dates for things. Now, I've put dates at the beginning of my descriptor because I wanted to just visually see it. I don't want to just have it scheduled because I just didn't. I want to have both because I'm good at flaking on myself, which I don't love about myself, but it is sometimes what happens. So this way you can really look at your calendar and say, oh, wow, I have nothing happening. Say, oh, wow, I could probably do a few more things on something on Sunday. Maybe I can go live on the 3rd of May. Maybe I can go live on the 4th. What else can we be doing, sending, sharing on these days where we just don't have a lot of stuff written or created, right? So there you go. So this is why I love Notion, because you get to look at your information in different ways. The other thing too is, I actually started with a template that I found. And so some of this stuff, it was kind of pre-set up, and you can look, there's tons of Notion templates. But what I love here is that it's kind of like a Google Docs. You open it up, you can set a due date, which then helps you if you want to look at it on a calendar. You can set what kind of, like, my category is kind of like my format, because I don't decide that right out of the gate. This is something we talk about inside the Message Lab. But you can see, I just wrote it all out here, and then I popped it into my email service provider, and we were done. But these kind of exist as their own pages, right? And you do kind of, I won't go into a whole tutorial on using Notion, but that's how the information is really organized. And it allows you, like, imagine you have and I have this all under one, like under TML. So this is just one folder in that. But then I can go back in here, and actually I'll have a stats folder, stats kind of document like this as well, where I will start going through all my little pieces, but I won't do that until a couple weeks from now. But I can share that as well if you'd like to see that. So we'll be talking more about this and different tools that you can use to kind of get your communication and your messaging and all that stuff visible to you, so that you don't forget to do it, so you don't convince yourself you don't have to do it, so you don't have to conveniently just not do it. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be going through what to be posting and publishing every single day. But the reason why I'm saying this is because the Message Lab is actually open. The Message Lab is the program that I created, I want to say 2017, 2018, maybe 2017, just because I remember doing it. Yeah, I remember doing it once in Seattle, and then once we got to LA. So 2017 was probably early in the years when we did the very first beta round. People had to apply by a video, and we had a really great group. We had another great group the following year. And then we had a kind of a mini live session where I was creating all the content, and I just wanted an audience. I wanted people to be there with me and getting something out of it and giving me something to kind of think about, that there were other humans on the other side of what I was sharing, instead of just, going through and recording all the videos by myself. So we are doing a special 2-week sprint session. And if you don't know what a sprint is just, it's something from the startup world, animation, visual effects, worlds I've been in for a long time before coming online. And really, it allows you to just focus on a very specific set of things for a short period of time. So we're going to do 2 weeks. You're going to focus on creating your launch communication, your messaging, your emails, getting used to actually being in front of people if you're going to be doing, let's say, Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives or other types of live streams. And we're also going to be, walking you through your own communication plan. So you're going to get access to the program, the course, which is like a lifetime access situation. But then 2 weeks, we're going to just sprint it out together. And this special enrollment is just open until next Thursday, because I need to get everybody situated, because we're going to start on the 9th. No fuss, no no exceptions. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely DM me, but try out Notion. I think you will love it. And don't use my, like, I would say, you're not really serving yourself if you just like grab what I've written here, because there are other things that were happening that weren't specific to the Message Lab that kind of support what I'm doing in here. So we talk about all of that and more inside the Message Lab. But two things. Remember, you've got that free workshop that I just did yesterday. You can DM me. I'll send you the link to that. And or you can ask your questions if you're interested in just working on your communication for 2 weeks with me, with the other group of people. We're going to get on Zoom 3 days a week, and no community. So far, if you watch the webinar, you'll hear what I say. I wasn't planning on doing a community, but we will see about that. And it's going to be really focused. You're just going to knock it out, get it done. If you're a parent, if you are of any kind, you're going to be able to get this done before the end of the school year, which is great, because then you can have your summer. Even if you're launching in the fall, do this now, okay? All right, I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions about this video or anything I've mentioned, definitely reach out to me. Take care.